right, mic check. Get ready for the 200 show. All right, 1 minute to go. 200 show. Let's get the show ready. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Voila. Welcome to the Black Band Broadcast. I'm your host, Rap Raven. This is the 200th show. There you go. 200 attempts at working with the community to find solutions for Black challenges. Tell your friend to tell a friend we are live today on the 200th show of the Black Betterment Broadcast. That's right. Let's go. Let's start the show as we have started 200 shows before or similar. All right. So don't forget the Black Betterment Building Instagram. I'll show you some ideas we've got for that. It takes us a long time. We do need the bigger staff, to be honest. But we've got an idea that I put together that we can discuss today about videos and all that good stuff. So don't forget to follow the Black Betterment Building Instagram. But let's start as we always start, and that is let's talk about the triple tragedies, and that is white supremacy, anti-Black racism, and the Ma'afa. And unfortunately, those three triple tragedies has caused a double dilemma, which is we are despised and we are disorganized. This is the double dilemma that Black people face. If you're aware, now you can agree. If you're not aware, then now you know. Blah blah blah. But then, not to worry with this double dilemma, we are presenting a single solution, which is Black Betterment. That is a lifestyle of Black people continuously helping Black people on Black issues whenever it's constructively possible. You see, that's a good idea, and that's what we do on this show, and that's what we promote, and we try to network. Remind me to also go over a database I'm making of other like shows I come across, and if you got any shows that does good information or constructive work and stuff, let me know so I can follow them and maybe message them to do interviews or network and all that good stuff. Shows try to be linking with other brothers and sisters who are constructive. Good idea. Don't be a stranger. Every constructive brother and sister should know each other. If you don't know, now you know. All right. That's right. So we'll talk about that. Today we've got a video about the Black Betterer and the Black Betterment Builders. But don't forget, we are focused on Black families, Black economics, and Black health. That's what we are, the triple triumphs. All right. So, boom, 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 boom. We sent the link. It'd be good if we get people to jump on the 200 show. Tell your friend to tell a friend. I should have really sent out the link, but I didn't. Shame on it twice. Whatever. But discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment. These are the 4D values, you see. These are the 4D values that we promote, and I would recommend if you're going to try to do constructive work with the community, you use these. Sometimes, anxiety and all the rest of it gets the better of us when we try to find solutions. So having a value system, when you're trying to do particular work is very handy indeed. Don't forget to tell a friend we're live on the 200th show of the Black Betterment Broadcast. Voila. When we send out the link, please do not use derogatory terms, especially when talking to each other. I know it's hard sometimes, especially when you're trying to find solutions. It's very important we do that. Every time we try to invite guests on or we go out there, big up, man, goddess. Analyze when anxiety is caused, especially when you're trying to find solutions, because there's a history to this, and it's a case study we always do. But try to always remember that. And that might make you be aware of when it's happening and try to minimize it. Oh, yeah, but definitely one way we can do that is by not using derogatory terms to describe people. Or in general, but especially when we're practicing Black Betterment. Oh, yeah. So, there you go. We are on the 200th show. So now you know. Whoa. Yes, the Black Betterment Broadcast. This is 200 attempts at the brothers and sisters coming together to form solutions. That's a really important thing. A very important thing. Like I said, the way it works is you start very small with a very similar-minded people, and you just build and build and build. When we first started this broadcast, it was maybe 1 or 2 people, I think, and that was it. And then brothers heard the word, they jumped on, they became consistent contributors and listeners, and we started doing stuff. And it's like, once again, this show was kind of built from what they call the Speaker's Corner community. I myself used to go to Speaker's Corner pre-COVID. And it was there promoting Black Betterment. But like I said, we went there to look for a very particular type of black people. These are the specialist black people. These are what they call the open door elite. Yes, the those who practice utility and unity. And it's very difficult for many black people who haven't been raised in pro-black environments to see the value in working on black issues. It's almost like kryptonite to even mention this kind of stuff. So you need a very small, dedicated group who are going to do that and make that concept more alluring. And that's what you are here. If you are a contributor, a consistent contributor, I should say, and you come on and you listen and you take notes and you give notes, then you are part of that class that we're building. That very dedicated class to fixing black people. And that's international. That's local and global. You see. And that's what we're doing. So we want to thank you all who have been supported, the newcomers and the old comers, those who came at first but went away, and those who went away but came back. We couldn't have done without you, see. And it's important that we always give a thanks. And I think what we're going to try to be doing today, and what we're going through as well after we do our intros and stuff, our video intros, is, we want to be expanding ideas, but also reaching out. I've like I said before, I've made a database, and I've only put 2 names on there at the moment because I'm very lazy. But it'd be good to get other shows. Now, it's a very particular kind of network I'm trying to get going. Constructive people who value, black love, black health, black economics. They're B1 kind of mentalities. Constructive. So don't forget to do that. So what we're going to do, while people get ready to tell their family we're live so they can jump on and all that good stuff, let's have a roundup of what the social internet showed so we can have a Black Betterment perspective on what was on the algorithms today or this week. So let's check a sneak peek. Bon appetit. This is a bit aggressive, but I'll pause it anyway. Let me pause it. And obviously, one thing we want to do is we want to keep sisters and children and the elderly protected. And I don't know the full in and out of this story, but I think there was a man who might have allegedly. Can you even use the word murder anymore? I don't know. The algorithms, who knows? Not that we get funded or anything, but yeah, and unfortunately, so I think the community got wind of it and they all came out to attack her. This obviously we don't promote violence here, but we do as a case study in the sense of what are deterrents just to try to stop people from harming each other, especially men who are meant to protect women, and then they harm them. And who knows? Maybe while we think about it, this might be one of the deterrents to know that you're going to be attacked by the community. I do hope I don't hope he's guilty, but if he is getting thumped, I'd like to think that he is guilty and that the actual person who it might have been has got away. But this is apparently they know this is what happened, and no one was best pleased, and they shouldn't. If a sister has been murdered, then something has to be done. So this was I saw this video and thought this is very interesting.
Anger boiled over in Kips Bay when police took a man into custody around the corner from where the body of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams was found stuffed into garbage bags. Down the block, police sought out a man sources tell Fox 5 is a person of interest in the murder. In a wheelchair when he was brought down to the lobby, he was being transferred into a gurney while still in the lobby as a crowd outside started screaming and banging on the windows. Once the door opened, family members and friends of Yasmin Williams unleashed their fury as police officers and EMTs desperately tried to fend them off. Several people punched the man in the head, angrily jumping over him and leaping over anyone in the way to get at him. Some could be heard begging the crowd to kill the man, while others were tearing his shirt from behind. The man pleaded his innocence at the angry crowd as the EMTs and police tried to load him into the ambulance, all the while trying to push back at people surging to attack the man. As soon as the ambulance bolted, Yasmin's mother held her hand, overwhelmed.
He's disgusting. He looks like scum.
Yasmin's body was found Friday, stuffed into garbage bags and left out on the street on East 27th Street, just off 3rd Avenue. On Monday, the medical examiner's office determined the cause of death to be a gunshot wound to her head. Sources tell Fox 5 police have a surveillance video showing a man in an electric wheelchair dragging the garbage bags to that location, which led Yasmin's family to wait outside the building down the street.
Okay, very tragic news there. Now, if that is the gentleman who did it, well, he's not a gentleman anymore. Who knows? Maybe that is maybe Like, I can't be see co-signing any kind of violence, but maybe that is what needs to happen, to let people know that you shouldn't be killing innocent members of the community. That's over in the States. Not too sure what state that was in, but yeah, I saw that. So it's for a video. What's this one here? Hold on, what's this? Oh, that's not that one. Like, oh, this was a nice one. Let's check this one out just to counter the bad one.
Of Windsor, Connecticut, can't keep her hands off her husband, Mark. But Mark and Maya have been together for years. What's different now is that they're finally
It's a 200 show. We're just going to intro at the moment. Just going through the weekly. We get a word for that. The weekly news. I don't know what to call it. Whatever. Tell your friends and family we're live. We have the 200 show. We want to know where to go for the future shows. Yo. So let us know, innit? But feel free to jump on. But we're just gonna do a 10-minute little scan. Then we're gonna start the show. Let's have a nice reminiscent, thing about the past, reminisce and all that, and then think of what to do and some ideas for the future. Tell a friend we're live.
actually together. Their separation is so defining. Mark has every moment of it tattooed on his arm. 26 years, 11 months, 4 days, 20 hours, 26 minutes, and 8 seconds. About a year after they met, Mark was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to life without parole for a murder we now know he didn't commit. Last fall, lawyers from the Innocence Project proved he had nothing to do with the crime.
Got me for 27 years, but I got Maya.
Drove 5 hours round trip every week to visit.
Why didn't you tell her to just move on?
I did. Says, I think you deserve better than this. This is not a normal life.
They got married in the visiting room. Maya raised their son alone and helped raise his 2 other boys from previous relationships. The woman is clearly a saint.
What's wrong?
For the first time in 27 years,
Don't cry, don't do that.
absolutely nothing was wrong.
Very little nice show there. Stream, sorry. Brother was unfortunately put in jail for a crime he did not commit, and his wife stayed with him, and he came out and love all again. It's a shame a lot of brothers all over the world who get falsely accused of crimes, and sometimes it's what happens. That's why we need black women. Big up, Brother Dominic, a very important contributor to the show. All right, where are we? Let's go to video 3. What do we have? African, what's that? Oh, that was quite terrible. Sorry. Seen that one. What about this one? Oh, that's good. Whatever. We'll look at that at the end, maybe. Oh yeah, I saw this. This is I know the brothers. So I know the brothers. We invited the brothers, the biracial brothers and sisters to jump on. We had very good debates with them a few weeks back. But something we were telling about was something that unaware that what they call racial showcasing. It's where European women marry black men and vice versa, and then they make videos saying, "Look how our kids look," and look, this has blue eyes and so on. This is something that they call racial showcasing, and they see it as a form of a fetish. I wouldn't recommend people do this. Obviously, Europeans and maybe brothers and sisters from different parts of the world are unaware of the history of the whole colorism and all that kind of trying to tailor make kids, what do they call it? I get a lot of these as well, and when I go for the comments, there's a lot of people trying to say stop making these videos, and I go, you do understand that this is it's very, this is what they call racial showcasing, and you should, maybe if you want to marry a black man, just marry a black man and have a nice family. But the whole look at me, I'm white, he's black, we have kids that have different hair and different eyes. There is a history to it. Isn't that people are just hating? They call it racial showcasing.
Then we ran every red light in your CRV. Then you got a little close to me, and you whispered this was something from a dream. And I sang in the dark.
But it's my group. I got a lot of these. It's a lot of usually European women or African women, to be honest, but it's usually European women. And they're like, look, I've got kids, and the kids, my husband is a black man, I'm a white woman, and our kids have different eyes and different hair, and guess which is which, and aren't they the best, and this kind of stuff. And then it starts sounding very, very old, school, whatever it is. And we've kind of gone 360. Like I said, we love our all brothers and sisters, one black parent, whatever it is, but we do understand that we have a code of conduct to not, do the whole racial showcasing, colorism kind of stuff. But that's why we want to talk about it. Feel free to jump on. What else do we have? Speaking of the past, I think we played before. We'll play one more time.
Read about slavery in history books, but reading the wills of slave owners, you see how they really treated their slaves like property.
So keeping in mind, people always ask, why are you trying to promote black economics, black families, black health? And, people say love has no color. And, if you're going to have a business, you have a business, blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, what words could we use to make people understand why we're so dedicated? And one is ancestral obligations, you see, and just remembering what the ancestors went through. And unfortunately, many of them, all they had was the hopes that a future descendant would remember them and continue to struggle, continue to fight, and fix the community before they do anything else. So, but listening to some of these old enslavement documentations shows you kind of what the ancestors went through, and why it's necessary that we have a B1 mentality. It's very important.
Handing them down from one relative to another. Back in the 1800s, that property included slaves. Fulton County Chief Probate Court Judge Kenya Johnson showed me wills her office discovered from back then where slave owners wrote what should happen to their slaves when the owners died.
It is my will and declare that all my Negro slaves divided into 5 lots. I bequeath to my daughter, Margaret Rebecca, my Negro woman, Jen, of dark complexion, and all of her children, to her and to her heirs forever.
Judge Johnson had her staff go through the wills to see what slave owners did with their slaves when she realized she had documents before the Civil War. Says it's one thing to read about it in history books, another to see and touch the actual records. Staff found one will that caught them by surprise. A slave owner wanted his more than 30 slaves paid and sent back to Africa when he passed.
When they start to Liberia, in the event I die before...
Think you know Black history? Think again. Unlock the untold story.
There you go. It's an interesting video there. Tragic events that hit many of our ancestors. And that's why we remember, and we have an ancestral obligation to practice black betterment. You see? That's why others don't get it. They don't really, they've moved on. They say, that was the past and everyone's lovely now. And the legacy of that doesn't affect anyone. And, everyone ain't that bad and stuff like that. All right, cool. I also saw this video. This is an Indian guy. He paid for this. So he showed a picture of himself. He put the word, they used to call me black. All right, cool. And now they asked me how. So obviously he's used some kind of bleaching cream. He's got some funky hairstyle. Yeah, that was interesting. So I did message. Said, so you paid the advert to say you're using bleaching cream. Big up, brother Stanley. Big up. So yeah, it's obviously, in India they have that colorism thing going on, and on their Instagram, it's probably very rife. Let's see 2 more videos, then we'll jump into the show. What's this? Enslaved passed down community update. Or we'll do that last videos. This was very disturbing, but let's have a listen to this brother's machine.
Netflix documentary The Man with 1,000 Kids. It's a docu-series about a Dutch serial sperm donor and fraudster Jonathan, who has illegally fathered, according to him, 550 children across the world. What the documentary was missing was the exploration of Aryanism. A lot of the sperm recipients chose Jonathan for his long blonde hair and blue eyes, which some may argue is a preference. On the other hand, Jonathan's intentions are unclear. However, in the 3rd episode, we're introduced to a group of serial sperm donors in Kenya. One is called Anthony Green, and in the documentary, he says that he wants to bleach Africa in a group chat. The protagonist, Jonathan, seemingly doesn't disagree or interject. The sperm receivers speak about how terrible and racist it is, and that's it. I don't think these guys are just serial sperm donors. I think it's a lot more sinister. These guys are Aryan serial sperm donors. The scary part in the documentary is it shows that they've been flown out to Kenya. And from my research outside of the documentary, it shows that Anthony is in Kenya again, promoting the perks of African women taking his sperm, i.e. their children getting a European passport. Jonathan has been in Zanzibar. His videos are about fishing and exploring. But Africa, the sperm banks and governments and our women, do not be deceived nor tempted. Do not allow these guys to bleach Africa. Spread the word.
Yeah, not sure all that kind of stuff there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't know what's going on there. Sisters, yeah, yeah, yeah. So be wary of that. You know, and maybe some trying to get passports. I don't know. Maybe some like they want to have they want to have a European ancestor or something like that, or phenotypes. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we covered that show where we had those two lesbian rappers. One's a rapper, one might not be a rapper, but they had to have obviously they couldn't have a kid with two women, so they went and got a European, the donor. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it is very interesting dynamics going on there. Very interesting. I don't know. What are you gonna do, right? All right, and what's the last one? And slave pass down, community update, black long. Oh, that should be long, not long. Beat killer. Oh, I think I've done them all. Apart from I'll do the last one. Anyway, cool, fantastic. I've sent the link out. Feel free, family, jump in for the 200 show. Echo. Excellent. That's right, family. With 200 attempts, we have come together to work on solutions. It's well done, guys. Well done. At the end of the day, we started this because I used to go Speaker's Corner, and I tried to get our corner going, and then COVID came, and then it's like, well, let's go online until we know what's going on. But it grew into a good space where we can network and talk and find solutions and try to put black people first in all things. And well done. And like I said, in the future time, the philosophies and ideologies we make here will be all around the world doing constructive stuff. And you would never know that it started here. And it started with you guys coming on here, sharing ideas and trying to refine techniques and tactics and templates to up the chance of black people being successful in activities that we are not successful in. So well done, family. You guys have done good, especially all the guys who do the research behind the scenes, send the videos, the private the messages for us to do shows on, the people who jump on and give their opinions, the people who are very new who come on who might say things that are very unsynchronized, but you have discipline not to lose your cool or your temper. And having mercy for those who don't know, because you know more, and those who know show, and all the rest of it. So well done. That's not easy, but you did it, and that's always good to know that when it comes to that next stage, we're learning, which is always good, and we're going to use what we learned to for our community. And now, Brother Stanley, now tell us about the change you have affected. Well, Brother Stanley, you can let us know since you've been listening to the Black Betterment broadcast. And the brothers and sisters who are very constructive, has it affected you in any kind of way? Has it motivated you more to be more synchronized with black people and try to find actual things to do that you can track that we can benefit black people, our community, all over the world, locally and globally? Let us know what it's done. In America, we call change tangibles. Yes, brother. So have you done any tangibles that we can actually follow, so we can say, well done, Brother Stanley? And for those who don't know, those who are new, Brother Stanley is a very important part of Blackberry Broadcast. He's like a case study. He's kind of like a naysayer, but he uses his naysaying skills to stress test ideologies and concepts that we push forward. And naturally, a lot of the things we say do trigger brothers like him. So he's a very good case study. Now, Brother Stanley, has your views changed on Black love since you've been listening to the Blackberry Broadcast? You think you'll be more confident now to promote Black love and that kind of stuff? Let us know. That'll be fantastic. Let us know. Please keep this 200. Okay. There you go. Let's keep this to 200. I don't know what that means, but we're gonna be doing more than 200. So two things I was going to talk about. One, I've made a database. There was a very where have I put that? I made a database, and there was a sister site. Now I think she's a Caribbean lady. She did a show. Let me see if I just what will I type together? Is it database? What do I put? Database. I'm just find my run database called. Let's call it Black Betterment. Viewers links. I thought it's viewers. Nah, man. No. I've actually got a list here. So big up Brother Kel, Brother Musa, Dominic, Daniel Davidson, Kushti, She Reigns, Virtual Oath Studios, Kamal. And I was actually writing a database of all the brothers who contributed to that. So I don't, because the thing is, we get some people come in and leave and stuff. They just want to, so let people know. And obviously, let me write down melanated, very important. I should put brother. Well, I should put brother Stanley as well. Melanated goddess. I should put you early, but it looks like you didn't say it. So big up melanated God. I'll add you to the list. There you go. Just so we can give thanks for the regulars and also the new guys. We recognize. But I was actually looking for. I don't know which I think it was called. It was a very good site though. Let me see if Black Bear Data. It must be Data. Did you not name it? Silly man. Did I name it? Maybe I didn't. Black owned businesses. Afro Bank. Mate, I don't know what. I don't know. I have to look for it. It's a shame. I really thought I did it. Afro. Wait a minute. If I type sites, maybe that will come up. Sites. Free stock sites. Pro Black, maybe. Pro Black. That's a good word. Pro Black. Maybe that will come up. Pro Black. Nah. Oh, well, whatever. Either way. I'm sure. When I play a video, I'll look for it. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah. So what we're doing? Let me show you something I've done. So I want to show you a database. I couldn't find it, so shame on me twice. But what I've done as well is, so I've got out there. I've invited certain people to come on and interview. People got their own podcast. And we're back and forth in. It takes time. Some people. But one thing, what I will do is there'll be live interviews as well as Zoom interviews, and the idea is to take snippets and stuff. So that video I did a few weeks ago of the brother Powers, I got the video. Let me open this here. Hold on. Ta-da. Stop. Yeah. So what I did, I've taken this interview. I'm going to ask the brothers if you don't mind. So I'm referencing where it's from and the Black Betterment stuff. Let's talk about. And also, I'm using Adobe Premiere or something like that, and they've got AI reading thing, so it can actually read what I'm saying and allow me to edit it. So that's good. So what the idea is to go through a video and take a whole lot of snip clips about what Black Betterment is, as well as pro Black love and all that kind of stuff, and make sure. And from these interviews, the ones we do here, the ones I go out there, and the ones you guys even want to do, we can cut them up, put the thing there. Maybe if there isn't like a video, like because sometimes it's like online, whatever, I can replace with JPEGs of stuff, just flashing through or whatever, right? So here's a snippet of me talking about Black Betterers and Black Betterment builders. But this is something that I was thinking I could post on Instagram. But it's a concept. So let's make a whole lot of videos like this. So let's have a sneak peek, bon appetit at this.
Pro Blackness isn't something that I control, right? Me and the brothers we hang around with and sisters, we promote something known as Black Betterment building, right? There's two types. There's Black Betterers and Black Betterment builders. Black Betterer is a person in their entire life they're promoting Black stuff, pro Black, and fixing Black issues. A Black Betterment builder is someone who they dedicate their life to one or two concepts. So you can that sounds like that kind of individual where they want to fix Black schools or fix Black health as an individual thing, but they want to have their own freedom life to not be tied down to certain very strict rules. I see. But if you're a Black Betterer,
it's fugazi, isn't it?
Well, if you're a Black Betterer, everything has to be codified.
You know where they stand as well.
There you go. And then we say Black Betterment. That's the address, by the way. Black Betterment. You type that and you'll find it. Join the discussion every Friday, 10 p.m. UK time. So I was thinking make a whole lot of videos like that, clips as well, and just send them out on the Instagram so people can share it or just hear it, don't care for it, whatever. And I'm very, I admit, because I've been doing so many projects, I don't get time to do anything, but I need to, because it's 200 show, let me at least try to do something that everyone else is kind of doing. But yeah, I'll take that video, I'll ask the brother permission, I'll chop it up, I'll send it on our page, and then in that particular discussion, I remember we were talking about Black love. Well, it was as usual. We spoke about Black love, and it just it became like a 2-hour discussion about can you be pro-Black and marry Black women, but we not marry Black women. And I guess that's the big algorithm kind of topic. So we'll push that out there. Is UK only one time zone? I was actually asking that around. It might be because it's so small. It might actually be one time zone. But we'll look that up. Everything has to be codified. That is right. Big up, man, guys. That's right. We should ask people in the chat panel what they've taken from the Black Betterment show since time first watching. Good. Once again, Dominic is always on point. So, family, is there anything that since listening to the Black Betterment broadcast amongst the family that it strengthened your resolve, a technique you've tried, or an awareness of something that has now become more poignant? And let us know. Now is the time to let us know. Also, let us know about the video, what we've done here. We're going to be sending these kind of snippets out. Let me play it one more time while I look for this database. Oh, come on, Granddad. Hold on. Lord have mercy. There we go.
Pro-blackness isn't something that I control, right? Me and the brothers we hang around with and sisters, we promote something known as Black Betterment Building, right? There's two types. There's black betterers and black betterment builders. Black betterer is a person in their entire life they're promoting black stuff, pro-black, and fixing black issues. A black betterment builder is someone who they dedicate their life to one or two concepts. So you can that sounds like that kind of individual where they want to fix black schools or fix black health as an individual thing, but they want to have their own freedom life to not be tied down to certain very strict rules.
I see.
But if you're a black betterer,
it's fugazi, isn't it?
Well, if you're a black betterer, everything has to be codified.
You know where they stand as well.
Man, I was very looking for this video. That took about 7 seconds. That's man, these short videos. Anyway, let me. I'm just. Hold on. If I can get that guy's name, I can run a database. So anyway, let me talk about. There was a. I'll tell you what I saw that was interesting. There was a sister, a Jamaican sister, and I don't know. I think what she might do, she might actually do her own show on another platform, or on what's that thing called again? Clubhouse, and then she might just post it live. I think that's what she's doing. But she was talking about Rastafarians and Rastafarians who marry Europeans, to be honest, more particularly. I thought it was a very fascinating kind of thing. Wait, food making Truth Gangster. Her name's Truth Gangster. That was her. Have you heard of Truth Gangster? I don't know. She's based in Jamaica, I think. I don't know if she's on YouTube or she Truth Gang Star. This should help me. Don't forget that name. Oh, Black Podcast is what I called it, the thing. That's why I couldn't find it. China man. All right, so there it is. Let me put the link for her. My machine's acting silly now again, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Cry? Let me put that in. Have you heard of the Truth Gangster? Maybe you jump on the shows that. But the show I listened to was one where she's talking about Rastas marrying Europeans. It was very interesting. 2-hour show on her thing, but I tried to give a message, but I don't know if she's actually on there like that. Hold on. Wait, why can't you copy and paste that, man? Granddad. Copy, please. So yeah, and so the idea now is, and so it was this lady and this brother here as well. Is it Ellie Wananda? So the idea is I have to be very active in trying to reach out to brown sisters who do constructive work, especially ones who have got like smallish kind of followings, just to network them and to bring up the thing. Yeah, why did they marry? Yeah, this is her show. Let me see if I can actually find that actual show to post it. Very good. I was gonna download it and take clips, but man, I was running around doing all kind of stuff, so I couldn't do that. But let me see if I can find that show. I just posted the thing. Let's see what it's called. Very good. It's 2 hours, but very good discussion. But it's what I want to do is for us to. There we go. It says Rasta, and it came out 8 days ago. Rasta and white woman. Hold on. Lord there. So let's put that in there. Like, so this is the actual thing. If the link works, go follow that, and this is that show when you get time. Well, what I want to do is approach your sisters, and it's very important that sisters doing good work. But when it comes to talking about black love and black men and choices, that kind of stuff, it's very important that the brothers jump in and try to lend a hand, so it isn't just black women talking about unsynchronized black men. So let you know that because you ever wanted to paint a picture that it's just black women not being best pleased. It's it's understanding what has happened, why it's happened, how it affects the community. Brother Kel jumped in, but I think his disconnect has not worked. So if you come back in, we'll get you back in, brother. It's always good to hear that, brother. If he's got time, he's a good man. Contributed throughout the 200 shows. It's always good to see the brother there. There we go. Looks like it's loaded. It might be my machine, to be honest. Brother Kel, is that you? Is your internet working? Black Betterment? Nope. Well, we'll give him time to find the mic. It might be the whole slow down. But yeah, so our family have posted the two things in there. The Truth Gangster, follow that sister. But if you've got any, if family, if there's any kind of podcast that we should reach out to, maybe do an invite or do a meeting or what they call it, an interview, just to build. What's the other word? Reason, network. With other like-minded brothers and sisters out there, similar goals and values and all that. Let me know. I've actually got the database open as we speak, so I can write in there and I'll just approach them, so let me know what you think. Blah, blah. What are we doing? I see them, everyone having their little conversation. Raven and Dominic. I still feel that biracial people are simply that, biracial, but I'm more open to those identified as part of the community. Well, yeah, so that's that. So those who are new, that's what we were talking about. So I was listening to a lady, I forgot her name. She's a lady. I should know her name, but shame on me twice. She's also on the news, whatever. But she's an American lady, Black American lady, and she was saying that identity is important when it comes to the word black. Like the people say unity, like black unity, but one of the things of unity is identity, as in like having that community thing. So the word black, I think there's a historical term of black and black people. And I know now people like are going to say, oh, well, are you black if you've got one parent? These are all very relatively new things to an extent. But the way we get around that is saying, is someone in the community, or are they not in the community? If you are in the community, you can practice black betterment. If you're not in the community. But also, sister, one thing I would say as well is when it comes to identity and people identifying, and this is the shocking one, and we don't have to unpack it now. And it's the science that I use that seems to always work. And that is, when we're making these decisions of what people are and what they're not are, is it based upon trauma or tactics? So when the sister was saying, in order to get a community, you have to have I am this. So if you are this, you will fix this. So if I am black, I'm going to fix black issues. But if I am something else, then I might not fix that issue. I might be a 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So when we talk to the biracial brothers and sisters, the first thing we always say is you have to talk to your father and mother who married out to explain why or why not, or what the goods and pros are, all that kind of stuff. But as for the community, are you allowed to be white? Okay, so you can't identify as white. Okay, that's the white supremacists have made that very perfect. But you have in historical times and today been allowed to identify as black. So this is where that means that you are in the community just by that definition, right? And through that, you can practice black betterment. Now, how people feel, I'm asking you, is feelings maybe a bad word, does it come from trauma or does it come from tactics? I'm saying you want to have a premise where people can join and be constructive. Who's this? Is it working? Ah, there we go. Brother Stanley's in, the brother Kel's in. Welcome, Brother Stanley.
Hey there.
Welcome to the 200th show, Brother Stanley. So you
I am honored.
Exactly. You've probably jumped on maybe.
Greetings, some brothers. Greetings, some people.
Yes,
yeah.
How you doing?
Ooh. Welcome to the 200th episode. These are two important contributors to the Black Bear broadcast, Brother Kel and Brother Stanley. Two different spectrums of contributions, but important, no doubt, when it comes to, especially when it comes to research and case studying. Foster, we see Brother Foster. We are allowed to identify as mixed race. Historically, we were allowed to identify as mulatto. There you go. So, like I said, brother, what we would ask you is, whatever you identify, that's up to you, right? But you have to ask yourself, what will draw you towards either black? Because is there people who you've said mulatto or biracial or mixed race? Do they go to white kind of like collecting groups? Like, is there any kind of like white dedicated things you go to where you're allowed in? Let us know, because we don't know. You would know. But one thing you have to understand is this is Black Betterment. So everything we do here is for the betterment of the black community. Go ahead, brother Kel.
You know, brother Raven. Obviously, I've been so busy in that, man, projects and work, etc. But I was listening to brother Foster, and he was making some serious accusations as though we do not accept the biracial Africans and that. You know what I mean? Like we are Africa for all types of Africans. But what I was getting from synchronized Sun brother is that he's putting all the blame on the Sun people. You know,
Yes.
like it's our fault and we're burdened by it. And I never heard him put the burden on those who has categorized us to be in this situation. You know what I mean? So I think that, not even I think, I know that when it comes to our Sun people who have, perhaps a mountain parent, a sand or an ice, is that we should use the three A's on them,
Yes.
you know, and obviously you know what that is, some right, you know what I mean? Ancestry, aesthetics, and of course action. So yeah, it'd be good if some brother Foster could come up, man, so we can have a chat.
Yeah, so bro Foster, I know you work quite late, and sometimes it drains you out. You're out, providing and that good stuff. But you did say that. But myself and brother Kel, you suspect we might be trying to control people with one black parent or one African parent, to for some reason that you knew of. You didn't really reveal too much, right? And we always invited you on. And it's always interesting to hear the perspective of someone who thinks a different way. But like the brother just said there, we use the 3 A's of beneficial blackness, and that is aesthetics, ancestry, and action. So, wherever you have, so someone like yourself, you say you got one black parent, one European parent. Well, aesthetics, you look like a brother, so we give you, 5, 6, 7, whatever, right? Ancestry, we know you've got black ancestry, you also got European ancestry, so you get 4, 5, 6, who knows, whatever, right? Up to you, pick one. But where we actually really are going to focus is, what is your actions towards black people moving forward? So we understand that Europeans do not allow people with one black parent in their community. We understand that because of history and that kind of stuff, right? So you know that you can't be a white person, but you can be in the African or black community, right? So if that's the case, what are you doing that is of a collective beneficial for the community, which is inclusive of the one black parent, the one African parent, the one Sun parent? Let us know if you have time. If not, we understand. But once again, if someone says that we are doing something that isn't constructive, we always say show and prove, because that's what we are. Oh, Foster, brother, you're always welcome in. Now, no pressure on you, brother. No pressure. This is the 200th show, sorry. So maybe this might be your time for you to find that kind of inner strength to say, now I shall tell you why I am suspicious that these black betterers are going to do something that is not good to the person with one black parent. I'm sure. But I'm sure it'll be good to hear you. It's always good. But like I said, we try to be constructive here, and it's all fun and games for the most part until it's not. But know that we are black first here. We are African centered. Some people.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, with all due respect to the unsynchronized Sun brother Faster, is that he was talking about we want to get rid of the biracial Sun people. The only people who's tried to get rid of the biracial Sun people are the ice people. You know what I mean? And I mean, Australia, we know the history. They even went to the Aborigines and said that we have to work together to try and, annihilate the biracial Africans. This is what came out of the Iceman's mouth in the documentary.
Yes.
The biracial Africans, unfortunately, especially in Ireland and in the UK, that, the European mothers used to hide them in the cupboard. This is happened in the 60s and the 70s. Many cases of biracial Africans going into a bath of bleach to try and remove their gorgeous melanin, which came from the Sun people. So I don't see the Sun woman mistreating extra. You'll never get it. So once again, putting the burden on the Sun people. So Sun brother Foster.
Now the thing is, brother Foster, we have said you're always welcome on the show to express yourself, but so far, and he said, indeed, you guys are very entertaining. You should take your show on the road. Well, the thing is, we have to ask, like, what is it that we could do that you will find best pleasing, because I'm not too sure if you go to other kind of podcasts or whatever, but you do come here, and you have some kind of suspicions that something nefarious might be going on. I don't know where that would come from, but this, remember, we say there's trauma and tactics. So is this coming from a traumatic place or a tactical place? Let us know. But Brother Stanley, how you doing, fam? Welcome to 200 Show. You still there, Brother Stanley?
I am.
So what's your view? So
Hey,
obviously,
Kale.
now the thing
Hey,
is, obviously,
some brother Stanley.
you're obviously we obviously this one black parent kind of thing seems to be an issue, because obviously people come back and they bring up whatever. But you're someone who's probably familiar with, having European and black, unions.
Oh,
And stuff.
I'm overly familiar. I'm married and produced a son.
There you go. So have you ever seen a similar behavior that what we're seeing in Foster?
No.
Like no. What do you think motivates this brother?
I don't know. He might be young.
Right.
I mean, young people tend to be, they have to seek their way.
Do you ever see people with one black parent, the biracial community? Do you ever see them?
Well, again, I've raised one, and yeah, I do. It's not. America's a little bit different, I think.
So, have you ever seen them? Some of your family or friends, do they tend to put a lot of blame towards the African or the European or the black or the white?
America is a lot different.
Okay.
Like fundamentally different. The thing is, in America, because of its history, if you have one drop, and people think that it's kind of funny or archaic or whatever. My son is black because his father's black. The one drop rule actually does apply. Now you can always go, well, those Americans are so just simplistic, but it makes life simpler in some way. We don't have to worry about biracial, you're black or white, or Asian, America is so racist that, it actually makes life simple.
So he said, "Did you answer? You didn't answer Stanley's question, maybe. Was there a question I didn't answer, Brother Stan? Do you remember what that question might be?" Oh, maybe he's.
He would have to ask. I think. Is life better?
Oh yeah,
is that the question?
He goes, now tell us about the change you have affected Raven. Excellent question. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. It wouldn't be for me to describe. The question was pushed out to you guys, isn't it? So, Brother Foster, since hearing the constructive work of the Black
Well, no, it was presented to you. It's been 2 years. What have you changed?
Has it been 2 years? It's probably more. Is it less?
Well, you didn't notice. You put together the show.
Well, I was thinking at the time, but yeah, even if it was 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, yeah, no. So for me, I think behind the scenes, I think the people I've met online and the stuff we've done, the meetings, the discussions, the networking, even the shows, the live shows. We showed one show I went on, which is very nice to network with those people. And when you go there, there's other people there, and you network with them. It's really cool. That's why I recommend. Obviously, not everyone can be out there because they've got lives and they don't, and people get trolled like you see at that moment. But I think that's been very handy. Also, behind the scenes.
Well, let me compliment you then.
Thank you very much. Behind the scenes,
I don't agree, but you have made people think. That's a good thing.
Well, I hope so, and I like to think that everyone who comes on, all the contributors to the Black Band broadcast are part of that process. And one thing we have to say, we do look for patterns. So when we look at Brother Foster, we have to think, what is the case to like? What is motivating this brother to be in this kind of dimension where he's constantly trying to, maybe undermine might be a strong term, but like something is happening, and that's a very good case study, and Brother Frost will let us know. And we always have to ask, like, is he this critical towards his other community, the other community that he represents? So, is he this critical? Is it just about black constructive black people? That is, because remember, this is an attempt at unifying people who want to be constructive to find solutions for the greater community, right? That's what this is an attempt at doing. And it's interesting when people come in and they're dedicated to dismantling it. So we have to answer what motivates it. So, Brother Foster, what do you think motivates that kind of behavior?
You know what, Brother Raven? I found interesting when he was saying, with all due respect, because his grandma from the Sun People was displeased that he brought a darker chocolate
sister,
sun
yes.
woman.
Yes.
And the thing is, what Sun unsynchronized, Brother Foster, got to understand is that the Afro Caribbeans have been worked on by the ice people. You know what I mean? We all know already. Do you understand? Especially on my father's side, now there's certain relatives that, when we go into St. Elizabeth and Spanish Town, there's certain things where like they've been indoctrinated that light is better.
Yes.
But that's not the darker hues fault or the lighter hues fault. That's the ice people again. So once again, unsynchronized son, Brother Foster, you're putting the blame on us. You're not putting the blame on the ice people who has formulated this strategy to make the darker hue say to themselves, bringing a dark hue home is not good enough. You're putting the blame on us. Put it on the ice people. That's my advice for you. But if you can, because it might be conflict, it might be a bit of a problem for you, and that, because you want to be both, and being both means that you're on the side of the Europeans. We know the trick already, man.
Very good point there. Once is it possible to be in both communities? And that's the thing. Unfortunately, it seems like this is not the case. I'll say this to Raven: you will never be criticized by someone doing more than you, but you will always be criticized by someone doing less than you. Very good philosophy there by Brother Dominic. We want to give thanks to Brother Dominic. Give very important contributor. We want to give thanks to Brother Kel, Mene Goddess, Kushti, She Reigns, and all the other brothers who jump in and sisters who jump in, who are trying to find solutions. And all the new guys who've seen Brother Javan, Garvey, big up, and all the other people who are listening at home. We want to make I don't like to use the term safe space, but we want to make a comfortable space for brothers and sisters to jump in to express their opinions. But ultimately, we have to understand the root of the show. This is a B1 Black First, Black Betterment podcast. We're trying to find solutions for our people, community group, right? And what a lot of time is dedicated to the person with one black parent because of brothers like Foster and obviously brothers Stanley and some of the stuff he's going through and stuff. But what we're seeing, you are painting the picture, you see. But the way you behave, you're painting these pictures. And we're saying, like, what is the solution to the kind of griefs or confusion that you might be going through? And we want to find solutions, but when we find solutions, we have a code of conduct, and that is Black First, and that is Black people working with Black people on Black issues. So if that makes sense to you, you're always welcome on some capacity. But you have to be careful, because if you're demonstrating self-sabotage, then people are going to look at you very wary, like, why is this gentleman so negative? Now, we understand you could be a victim of anti-Black racism, and it happens, right? But we're here and we're always willing to talk, but you have to be willing to talk. If not willing to talk, we'll never know. There you go. So, family, this is the 200th episode of the Black Bear Broadcast. We're joined by Brother Stanley and Brother Kale. We're rehashing last 200 years, 2 years.
Where's Christy?
She's somewhere, but if this whenever I'm not too sure at the moment, but whenever the sister is available, she can jump in. We always say here that people have lives and they have commitments, but if you get time, you're always welcome on. We'll make time for them. So that's how it runs. Where are we? I'm just looking at some people. There you go. Yeah. So, but we have to give thanks. We have to give thanks to everyone who dedicates some time to push it in, because essentially, so when you come on this show, you're trying to say that we want to find a way to construct in a constructive manner to fix Black issues. That's what the point of the show is. So if someone is constantly at odds, then we have to really question what motivates them and what they've been through. And hopefully we can do a case study of that to help that out.
No. If
He
you're constantly
also
at
has a he
odds with
also
someone, you need to resolve the conflict.
One sec. He also had the issue with the destruction of the black civilization by Chancellor William, and what he fails to realize is that Chancellor William also was with a European woman as well. You know, a lot of people don't realize that.
I didn't know that.
Francis Fanon was as well. Yeah, but here's the thing though, they still had the ability to critique and be just with the information. Just like Sheikh Anta Diop, we know very well. He's unsynchronized path of marriage. However, great contributor, historian. So, what is it about these men that were able to be just, fair, and to help our people without being too emotional? Whereas Son unsynchronized, Brother Foster, you know, he can't do that. And this is why, for example, unfortunately, that the biracial Africans, as what Garvey made it perfectly clear, they cannot lead the movement. It's not going to work. They can support it without a shadow of a doubt, but to lead it.
So essentially, what you're saying is Garvey made people who weren't as dark as he was feel uncomfortable and unworthy of leadership.
The Honorable Marcus Garvey.
That's basically what you said. And don't tell me Garvey didn't think that in and of himself. Garvey had some problems with Du Bois and lighter skinned Americans specifically.
No, but the thing
is, don't say all black people.
Hold on. Because the light skin wasn't the issue. It's the admixture, because W.E. Du Bois fell.
No, that wasn't the issue. It was a class issue.
Can I finish?
You don't understand your own Garveyism.
Robert Stanley,
no. You don't understand, because
you
when you're talking about classification,
you never understood Garvey at all.
Can I finish what I was saying? Can I finish what I was saying? Because you've just fell in your own hole. You just mentioned classification. Classification of what? The different
Garvey
types of
died
admixture.
in England. He lived in America.
Finish
I think I might understand it better.
You see, when I correct you correctly in that, you go off on one, because classification is different types of admixtures as it pertains to us as a people. Now, Garvey didn't exclude the biracial African. What he did say was he had issues when he's with W. Du Bois and the rest of them, because they felt like because they have that admixture, they understood that the Europeans on top and they're going to be in the middle. So those at the bottom are the darker hue. So instead of him using that privilege and reversing it, he endorsed it and made it worse. So God understood that, you know, those who have the admixture, because they're not disciplined as much, it's better that they support and not lead. Do you understand? That's what he made perfectly clear.
Garvey was as racist as the clan he met with.
Okay, Stanley. So Robert Stanley, what are you trying to achieve by making these allegations? What is it that
clarity and correctness as to the historical record? That's what I hope to achieve.
Sure.
Don't be wrong, because I can correct you.
There you go. So what you're trying to do?
You can't, because you just mentioned Garvey with the Ku Klux Klan. So Garvey, hold on, because you don't understand political science. You're in the military and that, and you don't get it. And this is another problem again. Garvey met with the Ku Klux Klan because
I understand.
Brother Stanley,
like from a perspective you have never been able to express.
So what we should try, what we should try to do, let's attempt it, right? Let's attempt a back and forth. Let's attempt it. Yeah. Let's we don't agree with what Brother Stanley is saying. It's very unsynchronized. But so Brother Stanley, I know you're going to be triggered whenever someone says something against European kind of concepts.
You actually think I'm triggered? Really?
Who knows? Well, do you think you could control yourself enough to have a back and forth with Brother Kel? Let him finish and you can jump.
I don't like black wrongness. Get the history right.
Right, of course. But what I'm saying is, we'll have to remove you if you can't have a back and forth. You understand that, don't you? Right? You understand that concept, right?
Why did Garvey?
Wouldn't be the first time in 200 episodes that you hadn't.
Why did Garvey meet with the Ku Klux Klan, Stanley? Why did he meet with him?
Okay, there's a question, Brother Stanley.
I'm sorry, what? Can you say it not in a Darth Vader voice that I've been putting up with for quite some time?
Brother Stanley, this is the 200th show.
Please just get to the question. Don't get history on.
Episodes after episodes on political
What is your
science.
Question, Kale?
Hold on.
The question was, go on, brother.
I'm just going to say, Brother Stanley, I'm just going to remove for.
Kale is.
Hold on. This is important. I'm just going to remove you for 4 seconds, Brother Stanley. And this is important. So whenever there is confusion, you have to look at the element that caused that confusion, right? And this is a very good case study, and this is a great live case study. We have Brother Foster, who has a European parent, and we have Brother Stanley, who's married to a European. This show is about black Betterment, black people finding solutions come together. Now, that connection to the European, not the person, and you see how Brother Foster is proper like egging on Brother Stanley. Like, yes. This is the case study. This is the pattern we see all the time. And to the point where Brother Foster will never come into the show, but Brother Stanley will not be able to listen, and he will call icons like Brother Marcus Garvey, name calls and this kind of stuff. But there will be no name calling for any kind of anti-black racist European kind of person. This is what we see. So I'm going to put Stanley back in just so we can do more case study of how his behavior, and maybe Brother Foster can actually, so we can demonstrate how connections to non-black people could trigger you to be anti-black. Go ahead, Brother Stanley.
So you two have calmed down now?
Oh, we've been calm throughout the whole conversation.
Well, now that you had some tea and calmed down, Kale, what was your question?
Why did Garvey meet up with the Ku Klux Klan leader?
Why? Because he and the Klan agreed on the way American blacks should be controlled. Basically, the Klan wanted a Back to Africa movement as well. Correct? Correct?
Because the reason.
Yes, Kale. Yes, Kale. Maybe you don't know the history as well as you think.
Hold on.
What I've done, I've written down. So, Brother Stanley, here's what we do. You can answer a question, and then when Brother Kel responds, if you talk over him and repeat yourself, we'll put you down because you might not understand the technology, and then Brother Kel will speak and we'll put you back. Now, it's a shame that your connection with Europeans is so intense that you cannot speak this to another brother. But we're going to get there. We're going to learn. So, Brother Kel, ask your question, and we can push him back after you finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so Garvey, yes, the Ku Klux Klan wanted black people to go back, but also they were worried because they were losing lives of the Europeans. Because remember, the Garvey military base in America was very prominent, and the Europeans were decreasing in lives. And so he wanted to speak to the Honorable Marcus Garvey to calm things down. You're not explaining that, Brother Stanley. You're making it look like that Garvey met up with him and we agreed to go, the blacks go back to Africa, but he was scared of the Garveyites. As we know, the Europeans and that, they only respect two things: loss of lives, because they're less on the planet, and when you mess with their economics. That's all I'm going to say.
We're going to put Brother Stan back in, but remember, some people, they'll be tuning in for the 200th show and they'll be confused, like, why are they allowing unsynchronized brothers to go off on one? And we're going to try to control them as best we can, but we must always understand that everything is a case study, and we have to be analyzing it and see what motivates it. And sometimes we have regulars do the same thing, like Brother Foster's a regular and Brother Stanley's regular, but they're connected in their Europeanness or in their connection to Europeanness. And they're using this connection to sabotage Black progress. It's a very good case study because they can't help it. They can't, even if they were to conspire together to not demonstrate this, they have to show it. So we're going to let Brother Stanley in. He's going to demonstrate this now. So here we go, Brother.
Shows of being wrong.
There you go. So there you go, Brother Stanley. Would you like to demonstrate the stuff you want to say? Or were you talking to yourself in the back?
You don't know Garvey Kale.
Right. So he's giving you,
and quite frankly,
right.
Black Betterment is very UK centered, and I'm okay with that. Leave the rest of the Black world alone because you're not smart enough.
Right. So where do you think that name calling comes from, Brother Stanley? Do you think that something must motivate? Let them know what motivates you. Go on. Let them know.
Which name? Black Betterment?
You know, what motivated your statement? So remember, we're attempting.
Oh, no. What motivated my statement? Kale doesn't know American history. He's a bad Garveyite, and you have a dream of Black Betterment, but it seems it's UK centric.
Okay, let me speak now. So this is very important for the brothers listening now and future term. Notice how no matter what happens, he's triggered. And the trigger always comes from the same point. You're doing something that is for a particular people, Black people, and it excludes the people, the ICE people, the white people, the Europeans, because they have a history of unfortunately placing Black people in this position. So we're fixing ourselves. And because of that, those who are most connected to the ICE people are never best pleased. And no matter what you say, they will always find a way to sabotage. That's why when brothers are saying that any connection, you have to go through some kind of like, debriefing or something, because you just by osmosis, just by automation, you will sabotage. And right now, we want Brother Stanley to say something constructive, but he's forbidden. He has shown day to day that he cannot, and that is because of the connection. So, Brother Stanley, what are we to do with brothers like yourselves? How should we treat brothers like you? How should we try to fit you into Betterment? What should we do? Let us know. You still
have I not already corrected your point of view? You still struggling?
Well, okay. So, Brother Foster, if you wish to jump in to help out, by all means you can. There'll be two, so we can have maybe two people representing the ICE people and two people representing the Sun people, and we can try to find. Can we find a solution?
You think I'm representing ICE people? I'm representing Black people, smart Black people, unlike you.
Okay. So, Brother Stanley, can you give us a way of living that is just for Black people that is beneficial? So I'll give one, and then you can give one, right? So I say that Black people come together on economics, each one teach one, and try to.
Which Black people?
Well, it could be any Black people, but if you want to do it,
okay, any Black people just doesn't work.
Okay,
it's much too vague.
If you're in Chicago,
it's putting.
Because I'm still speaking, and this is how we communicate. So if you're in Chicago, the Black people in Chicago network to try to fix Chicago.
When's the last time?
I'm just gonna mute it because obviously the technology.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, he's too far.
He's too far gone, but we let him know.
Too far gone, man.
Too far gone. But bro, the question is now. I've given you one method, Brother Stanley. Can you give us something? So the family who are listening, this is a case study on the 200th episode. Can you give us a constructive method, a way of living that Black people or your Black people or the Black people can work together that's beneficial? So give us a method, something that's good. Yeah, that is just Black within Black. Let's see if he can do it. Remember, it's a case study. Go ahead, brother.
My method is not your method. Your method is futility and just basically not smart.
So can you give it to us? Now I'm just going to mute you for 5 seconds while I answer some of the questions. Give me 4 seconds. I'll give you time to think of the questions in just think of, because remember we're going to give you time. So to Brother Javan, stop calling these individuals brothers as well. The thing is, the family, we understand, and this is very, because remember everything is a case study. When you're talking to brothers and sisters, Black people who are descendant from Africans and the bigger community, right? What happens is they're either going to be governed by trauma or tactics. So we can never be governed by trauma. So they are our brothers, but they're unsynchronized brothers. You see, they're our brothers in genetics, but they're not our brothers in ethics. You see, so we have to have love for them, but we have love from a distance. So that's why Brother Care is plotting out rules of how to interact with certain people, because some people will be automatically trying to sabotage progress. Now, my method is slightly different. I let people show me who they are. So I'm like, okay, you show me, so now I know you're unsynchronized. You see. But some people have different rules. They say certain things like, if you don't have this or you do have that, then you can't do that. So be it. But I'm saying that we're giving Brother Stanley time to give us a concept, a way of operating that is black on black. Yeah. So he's in charge, and we're going to see if he can do that, because we know he can undermine black progress because he's demonstrated that throughout the 200th episode. But let's see if he can come up with a way of an idea or a lifestyle that can improve black people. Let's hear him now. Go. Brother Stanley, give us the idea, please, if you don't mind. Have you thought about it? Is enough time? No?
Oh, are you still talking?
I am indeed. So
I was typing in your chat. Much more interesting.
Okay, well, have you thought about any concepts or ideas of how black people come together to find solutions? Anything
I had thought of no more than yourself.
So I'm just going to meet you for 4 seconds. So you can come back in a bit. So this is important. This is the case study. So this is showing you. So what we're trying to paint a picture is, whenever you have close proximity to non-black people, especially in the lovemaking or the parenting or the family, it can. If you haven't been raised in a kind of pro-black environment or a B1 environment or a Pan-African environment, then you can be heavily conditioned to be self-sabotaging. You have a self-sabotage switch. And whenever you see black love or black economics, it will trigger. So you see what Brother Foster is doing is, Brother Foster, he's always welcome to jump on, but he won't. But Brother Foster will wait for someone who's also similar in the concept of like close proximity to you. And then whenever they go for one, he will jump on. He'll support. Yes. It's a very important case study, because Brother Foster has accused us of, doing nefarious things towards people with one black parent. But he's demonstrating the opposite. You see, he's demonstrating,
and he hasn't called out the ICE people as well, who have set it up our demise, which I find very, very strange.
Very strange. Now, family, here's how the Black Bear broadcast works. It's usually a 1 hour show where we go 2 hours with guests. If anyone isn't best pleased with the case study of unsynchronized brothers, you can always jump on or ask us, can we cover this? And we can, a synchronized person will always have authority over an unsynchronized person. So if you're synchronized and you want to jump in to find solutions, you can jump in and you have priority. But until we do that, we will always give unsynchronized people their say, because they are always a case study and they always demonstrate what we shouldn't be doing. So unless someone wants a different strategy, you can jump on and go, okay, I want to talk about economics, or I want to talk about black love, or I want to talk about video editing technique or whatever. But until you jump on, we're always going to do a case study of the unsynchronized brothers, to which Brother Stanley is one. Welcome back, Brother Stanley. Have you thought about that thing yet? No? Still typing away?
Oh, have you given me something to think about? I'm still in your chat. They're much more interesting.
I'm sure it is, but we were asking you, do you have any ideas that might work in black people's collective best interest?
I'm waiting on you. This is Black Betterment, right? I've been waiting on you for 200 episodes.
Right. So would you say that you're more of like a drive-by criticizer? So
you have done nothing.
It's gonna be for 4 seconds while we explain the framework. So what you do is you wait for black people to try to find solutions, and then when they come up with one, you shoot it down and drive by. Where did you learn this? Is this something you picked up in like the ICE environment, the Sun environment? Where did you pick this up?
Yeah.
I learned it on the Black Betterment broadcast.
Okay. So I hope I'm just going to mute you for 4 seconds. So I hope we're demonstrating to those listening in the future time and those who are listening live. This is what happened. Now, what this is yes, it happens.
There's a future.
I'm just going to move you down for 4 seconds. This is why we recommend with your children, raise them in some kind of Pan-African or B1 or pro-black or black betterment ideology, because if you don't, they will. The chance of them being self-sabotaging will always heighten. Okay, will always heighten, and this is what we've observed. Now, unfortunately, if you have a one black parent, one European parent, and one Arab parent, in a lot of these communities, is self-sustaining qualities from other communities, as well as self-sabotaging from our own community. So you're gonna by osmosis, they're going to automatically put all the emphasis on the black community, as they're demonstrating now, and put no emphasis on the people who sabotage the black community. Okay. So this is why, if you love your children at a very early age, you're going to start giving them a sense of pride, a sense of blackness, a sense of unity, but let them know that we're a work in progress. And unfortunately, we have Brother Stanleys and unfortunately Brother Fosters who have been conditioned to be self-sabotaging, and
they don't realize that they're gatekeepers. They just don't realize it, and that's very dangerous. That is, man. That you're going to gatekeep those who are oppressing us indirectly and directly.
Yeah.
That's why, Brother Foster, you know what I mean? There's some other stuff he was saying as well, man, which why you can't, be any form of leader or anything like that. He was saying things like, we want to exterminate. No, that's it. He has an issue with black love. Why would you have an issue with black love? I don't understand that.
Yeah, bro. What was that about? What is your issue with black love? That's no right. You feel free to write your essay for us to read that. But I know Brother Stanley has an issue with black love as well. Welcome back, Brother Stanley. So I take it you're not going to give us any solutions, but
oh no, why should I do more than you? You haven't given us solutions.
Oh well,
what you've done is a slide deck.
Okay.
And malapropisms and aphorisms. That's black betterment to you. Words.
Right. So what we're going to do is what Brother Stanley
words are what you have done.
I'm going to meet you for 4 seconds. Then we're going to let you back.
You taught.
Remember, we'll bring you back, Brother Stanley, not to work because you're helpful at the moment. So what's going to happen is nothing will ever be good enough to the unsynchronized black man or black woman, right? Nothing you do will ever be good enough. And so they will always try to look for something and try to pull you down. So, but you have to be stoic. You have to be in control of your emotions, because what will happen will be like a 2-hour argument. So you can only be offended. You have to understand the root, and they're unsynchronized. So once a person is unsynchronized, it unfortunately disqualifies them from any kind of value when it comes to black decision making. So that's why these brothers will keep coming back, but they'll never be able to penetrate, because unfortunately we don't take them serious, right? And this is a very good intuitive show, because we're getting a live case study as we're here. So Brother Stanley, welcome back. So is there anything?
Yes. My brother in nothingness.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything constructive that you want to say? Is there anything constructive for?
No, I am waiting. How can it's your show? You tell me something constructive.
Okay, well, we can bring any topic. So
and all don't marry a white woman just doesn't seem that constructive.
So what's the benefits of marrying a European?
You of all people should not be.
We're gonna move you down for 4 seconds.
I'm just asking a question. What's the benefit in marrying a nice woman or a nice man? I want to know the benefit.
Here's what's important. At the black, and this is why, remember with the case study moment, we say that constructive black man and constructive black woman make a constructive black family. And you see the pictures there of business and family. Now, we say that, but the unsynchronized black man, because they're so ingrained in other communities, they reword that to you can't marry a white woman. Can you see that? And this is how you know someone is European conditioned, right? Because we say we value black women and we want to support black women, and they say you don't want to marry a white woman. You see? And they can't help it. So we're going to bring him back to demonstrate this further. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Can you demonstrate a bit more further?
Oh, I'm back.
You are back.
I was going to say, Kale, do you really want to make these mixed race arguments?
If you like,
no,
that's why it's called.
It's a direct question. Yes or no?
If you like, I'm not bothered.
Okay. let me continue my statement then. I think you're the
Go on.
last person to talk about Sun Brothers.
And why would that be?
I just know.
So we're gonna meet you for 4 seconds while we unpack, brother.
You see, this is the problem when you're unsynchronized because you say the most unsynchronized thing. We're talking about black love, and you're talking about something which I have no understanding of. You know, you have an issue, brother Stanley, and this is why the black betterment is very important every Fridays.
Every
You
Friday.
don't like the fact that you have to keep away from the ice woman. You
Mm.
worship the ice woman. The ice woman's your God. The ice woman is your everything. Do you understand? But she will never love you back though. She's proving it. I'm sure you know about Henrietta, who used to keep enslaved son men in enslavement, and she used to grate them as well. Do you understand? Even though her man used to abuse and oppress them in the Roman culture, they will never love you back, brother Stanley. Have you forgotten in the protesting when they says that leave our black DICK alone? That's why he was on the protesting in America, you know. That was what they wanted the police to leave alone. But here you are on a political, scientific Sun channel on that, defending the ICE people, the same ICE people that oppress the Sun people in America and that. This is embarrassing. I don't have to disrespect you, brother Stanley. You disrespect yourself by the fact that you don't understand how to be synchronized. It's embarrassing.
It's very thank you, brother Kel. Always come to science there. Now, this is what for those who are listening. We have to break things down to a science. You see, we have to understand what is happening. So when we start this show, we talk about making a database of up and coming podcasts who are doing constructive work, and for us to reach out and invite them on, right? And that's us building that. You know, we realize that they're at one step, we might be at 2 step, they might be at 3 step, we might be at 1 step, but we want to network together so we can push the ideas forward, and we're happy to help them move forward. And if you have, and we're asking for names and lists so we can reach out. So that's the starting plan. But you have brothers like brother Stanley and brother Foster who are unsynchronized, who are saying, "What have you done? What have you done?" And that's their thing. Their thing is to always try to big holes. And so I could say, you know what, whatever I've done or what others done, it's useless. It's no good. Let's say that, right? But we're willing to improve, you see. But the saboteur doesn't care about that. They're just like, they're saying something constructive that is going to benefit the black man, the black woman, and the black child. I must destroy this immediately. You see. So that's why we give the unsynchronized black man and black woman a chance to say something constructive, but it never can. And that's why you have to be stoic. That's why you can't go off the rails. You can't be angry. You can't be upset, because when you get upset and start screaming, then that becomes a topic, you see. And then people, it's like a tempest of confusion. Yeah. But when you're calm and collective and you ask the right questions, you are demonstrating that they are motivated by unsynchronized causes and they're dedicated to destruction, and something has tampered their wiring to make them anti-good. You know, they're just anything good, anti, you see? So I'm going to say that, Brother Stanley and Brother Foster, I am the most useless person of all time. Would you be willing to work with me to make me useful? Let's see how you can do it. Go ahead. So, Brother Stanley, how would you make me more useful because I'm useless? What would you do, Brother Stanley?
Oh, do much more reading, Brother Raven. Like tons and tons. Do you want me to start with British history, African history, or American history? And I don't know that much about Brazil in South. Oh, let me finish now.
Just going to meet you for 4 seconds while I ask a question, because you're not answering the question. What activities can we do together that is beneficial for black people? Let's go.
You say I'm talking about you, brother. You're black, right? Let me start with making you better. Read, brother. Read.
So you're not going to answer the question. Now, Brother Foster has
I've answered the question. Are you black?
So you want you're going to improve Brother Raven by loving the ice woman? Is that what you want Brother Raven to do?
I've just proved it. So you can just block us from the chat. You won't because you need an excuse for your lack of action, i.e., blame the saboteurs. No, brother. So what it is we invite all to step a constructive path, right? But you guys have come in here consistently false claims about whatever you've been talking about. And naturally, here's the rules of the show. Everyone is welcome to talk, and the unsynchronized have less authority over the synchronized. So if a synchronized sister or brother wants to jump in and take the direction somewhere else, they can. But if not, it's case studies time. Because at the end of the day, if we were talking, I'll give the 2 videos, we'll give the links, and we'll close the show. So we're always happy to entertain unsynchronized people so we can do case studies. But like I said, unfortunately, you don't have power. So if a synchronized brother jumps in and says, "I'm going to talk about black economics," we have to go there. So the only way you can have authority is by getting like a credibility of being constructive, coming in the show, and leading the show down a path that's beneficial to black people. But you haven't given us any kind of ideology that shows there's any form of betterment to any people, apart from self-destruction of black people.
Telling you how to do black betterment.
Hold on, brother Stan, were you aware that you were mute for that time? You probably wasn't aware. So whatever you were saying,
you know what? You heard me anyway, didn't you?
I heard.
It was black. It was black telepathy.
So I'm just gonna mute for 4 seconds. Push down again. So this is what we see where the brothers, they become completely uncontrolled. Now here's what it is. Yeah. When I first started doing the community work, I was always looking to find out what is the areas of interest that I should focus in. Is it like reforming the black youth, reforming crime? Is it health? Is it black economics? Is it creativity? I was always looking, and I ignored the let me put this here. I ignored the whole miscegenation and dating out concept. I thought it was too much anxiety. Let me do it. But as I've done my research, I've realized that it's actually one of the most fundamental topics, and actually, part of it is what's actually sabotaging black progress. Because once you see some of these brothers go into other communities, they come back with this vitriol, and it's like because they're no longer directly in the community, they want to sabotage it. But we're joined by Melanie Goddess. So Melanie Goddess, welcome to the 200 show. Black Betterment to yourself.
Black Betterment, Brother Raven and Kale. I'm not sure if Stanley is still on the show, but or he's in the back. But like I did have to take a phone call, so I'm not sure what I missed.
Basically, you missed it. We did a case study of when brothers are connected to non-black people, more so Europeans. It might motivate them to sabotage black progress. And we were trying to do a live case study by Brother Stanley and Brother Foster. And we can demonstrate now. If I press play on Stanley, you'll see it now. So just press play. Look, Stanley, just demonstrate what we're saying. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
What is your problem with Black Betterment, Stanley? That's what I asked you in the back chat.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Black Betterment. I hope it happens. Just not going to happen. Not going to happen here.
Okay, got you. What is Black Betterment? In your opinion?
I actually think it's just been good people. It's not that complicated. You don't have to have a whole program. You literally don't have to do a show about being better people.
You don't have to. But I'm asking you if you could be more specific. Let me ask a question so you can answer my question. Okay. What is Black Betterment? Like, can you list specifically, not like vague concept, like being good? What is Black Betterment?
I think Black Betterment is basic betterment of any person. Now, Black Betterment specifically is you have to be aware of history, Black history in America. And one of the points I make to people like Kale and Raven is Black people in the UK, their history is different than the Black people's history in America, US, and Brazil. There are different histories, there are different needs, and if Raven can't figure that part out, he's not really bettering Black people. I think it's scattershot.
So, Brother Stanley, can you let us know the
bettering Black people means you're more targeted and not blathering all scattershot.
I'm leaving 4 seconds, brother. So the sisters ask questions, I've asked you questions, and you're not really answering it. Is that a strategy because you don't have the question?
I think I've answered it. Don't be dumb.
Kind of, but well, look, Ray, Stanley, you don't have to be. You're saying being dumb, and I'm going to ask you not to be rude, right? Because
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
that's
I
actually not
apologize. I apologize.
okay. Thank you for doing that. I don't think that because Black Betterment is not a focus on you those in the UK, even though the channel owner, that's where he resides, and he could be very Eurocentric, Euro focused on the black people, the black experience there in the UK. This show could literally be only focused on that, and it's not. The show is focused on the black experience globally to include the continent of Africa, South America, Central America, North America, everywhere, right? That yes, we have a different history, but we have a shared history, and we also have some commonalities throughout the diaspora, right? That we could relate to. So yes, I don't eat the same food that they eat in Haiti, right? But the way that the dark skinned Haitians are marginalized in comparison to the mulattoes and their cousins over there in the Dominican Republic, I can totally relate to that as a Black American. I can. So I think that this show, this program, this channel speaks on how do we as people in the UK not look down on people in Uganda, right, and the way that they live, and how can we connect with those people? How can we have a similar, some type of code, so of operation? So when I'm asking you, what does Black Betterment look like for you? You're giving me, we can just be good people.
I'm thinking. Oh, did you ask me? I'm sorry.
Right. So I said all of that to say, do you have a different response that it could be something concrete? Because I guess you don't like the
No,
way
it's
Raven.
the same. It's
Okay.
the same response.
Okay.
Understand? You talk about Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic versus Haiti. If you don't understand that difference, then you actually better that blackness, Raven.
Okay, I'm good forward to listening to
And I'll bet Raven doesn't even understand my point.
Right. So I'll get to you in 4 seconds. So before we get there, Brother Foster says because you keep sneak this in, Raven, you were doing it to that biracial woman the other week who was being very respectful. Right. So
No, I'm not sneak dissing. I'm dissing out.
It's not you. It's not. They're accusing me, bro. I'm just putting you in the thing. So, bro, and this is what it is. Here's what it is, right? Unfortunately, some of the brothers and sisters might not understand that the behaviors they do is actually self-sabotage and it causes much pain, right? And just because we're stoic and we don't scream and shout, it doesn't mean we're unaware of it, right? So I think in regards to any person, they can come on and we can finish that. I don't think I was this. I would say I was sneak dissing. I should never be dissing any person, right? They should be. It's like something is said that's unsynchronized and we highlight, right? Now, Brother Stanley is fishing for errors. He's fishing for errors so he can sabotage something. That's what Ibrahim was doing. He can never give a constructive, and we know this. He's never been able to, right? Because his job is to come here to dismantle constructive things as it pertains to Black women. Yeah. Now we give you brothers a place to speak because we're case studying you. But like I said, you don't have priority. If someone comes in and changes direction, we can go. So if anyone in the family wants to move on to a different topic, we can, but you have to come and lead the way. And it would be nice if Brother Foster came in to justify the things he was saying or give some context. But once again, it is very intimidating to step up to people such as myself and Brother Kelvin and Melanated Goddess because we have a purpose. Our purpose is to help Black people, to which you guys are included if you were synchronized. But unfortunately, you're not synchronized. So
Wait, you're saying Brother Foster is not synchronized? I don't know Brother Foster. I don't think so.
So Brother Foster is a brother. He has one Black parent as far as I'm aware. He's based in the UK, somewhere around there. and he's gone through a traumatic time as he's demonstrated through his European side. Saying, and Brother Foster, you can update us if I'm incorrect in this analysis, right? And he suspected that myself and Brother Kel were trying to control people with one black parent because we had a fear that that particular group of the community might try to rebel or something like this. He has to say the words, and because of that, he has tremendous distrust, and he's come on week to week, and he isn't best pleased. And obviously, when we talk about biracial topics, he seems to be triggered. Now we're invited to come on, but something he hasn't really got that kind of oomph at the moment to really jump on and really defend his claims. But what we're saying is this might be like what Brother Stanley's going through, where because they're connected to other people groups, something in that connection has made them dedicated to sabotaging black progress. And how I'm trying to demonstrate that is I'm saying I want to be kind to them. I'm saying when they call me useless, I'm agreeing. I'm saying I am very useless, but I want to be useful to black people. What should I do? And they can never give me examples because they're dedicated to destruction. They're dedicated, and I hope I'm demonstrating that now. So, but that's what I'm trying to say, Sister Malay goes. But I see this pattern everywhere I go when it comes to people who are connected to non-black people. There's a self-sabotage switch that gets triggered, and we're trying to unpack it at the moment.
I mean, I don't know, Stanley. Did you hear my
Oh yeah, I heard it
synopsis
all.
of? No, I'm talking about my synopsis of what I said when Dominique asked what what have we learned or whatever from the show. Did you hear like what? Did you see what my response was in the chat
Let's see.
about?
Back chat.
No, in
Dissing a man
the
that
regular
wants.
chat. In the regular chat. This was a while ago because I had taken a phone call, so I've been gone. But you know, before I started watching this program and the way in which I dealt with biracial people was I would say a little harsh, you know. And I still see biracial people as biracial, and to me that's more out of me acknowledging the ethnic background of, you know, their other parent that's not black. So out of respect and and acknowledging that they have dual cultures, dual ethnic background, but also honoring the fact that that person has made a conscious choice around their identity. Who am I to keep telling them that they're not black, that they're not, like, beating them down? Like, if this person is saying that, you know, I want to choose practice black betterment. I have a white parent, but I want to date within the black race. I want to further. They want to practice black economics. They want to, you know, buy black products, and they want to, you know, they take on the struggle, you know, towards our liberation, and see themselves as a black person. I feel like, okay, I will now. I'm a lot more welcoming to those individuals, and, you know, seeing them and calling them and recognizing them for who they are telling me that they are. So I feel like that's a positive thing. So when you're saying that nothing has come out of this, or what is it that he's building, he's changing the way that some black people recognize the community. Who is their community?
Okay. Now, I actually appreciate what you said and greatly. I actually heard what you said and greatly respect you. So, you pretty much just echoed my thing. And I've been saying it for 200 episodes, plus or minus 50. A free black person does what a free black person wants to do. Marry whom you want, do what you want, etc. So that's what I heard you say, Melanated.
No, that is not what I said. Stanley!
Before you speak, Hold on.
Very, very unsynchronizable. Very
Synchronized.
unsynchronized.
Let me give thanks to Mele Goddess. She articulated herself very well there, and she demonstrated a growth and learning and adaptation that she did for the collective benefit of Black people. And that was a very synchronized, and that's what the sister was doing. She was showing, a growth and putting things together for the betterment of our community. And then once
That's
again,
right.
the self-sabotage ship was then triggered, and Stanley just came in and tried to and this is what we always observe. So it's very important. But sister, we give thanks for what you've done there. Very important. And brother Stanley, thank you for letting us understand how the self-sabotage chip works.
Okay, I had no idea why I was taken off the stage.
Stanley, why
I
are you saying
thought.
that you heard me say that? Why are you saying that you heard me
Did you
say?
not? Did you not
No,
say?
no, no. I
Okay.
did. What I said was that a biracial person, right,
Mhm.
who are you calling a free Black person, is part of the Black community when
Okay,
they demonstrate. Right. This. All I'm
now you're
speaking
not
about is
hearing what
Blackness.
I said. Now, you have to act, in my opinion, a biracial person with one Black parent is a Black person. Can we agree on that?
Only if they see themselves as a Black
In
person. That
America.
was no,
Well,
no, no,
I
no.
appreciate what you're saying, and I think you're right. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but in the eyes of America in 2024, if you have a Black parent, you're biracial
Right. So
in
brother
Right.
America.
Stanley,
Yes,
I'm gonna
you are biracial in America. Just like in America, if you have a continental African parent and you have an American parent, America recognizes your dual ethnic background,
No, it doesn't.
right?
On the on the
What's the
census,
hold on, hold
on
on,
the
hold on, what
census,
is
maybe.
hold on. No, on the census, I'm not talking about on the census. You can
Okay,
go
then
to this. You can.
we're
I'm going to
looking at
tell
a
you
different America.
if you would listen to me.
Yes,
There
ma'am.
is Nipsey Hussle is called a Eritrean American. He absolutely is. He is not just called an African American. The other girl
You're
whose
kidding,
father is from
right?
Eritrea. I am not. The other the comedian Tiffany Haddish. She is a Eritrean American. Absolutely, because her father is from Eritrea. There's lots of
Okay,
Black Americans
I'm just
who
gonna mute
listen.
and listen
Family,
to
you
you
have to
drone on.
exactly. You should listen. The person who created the internet, he is called a Nigerian American. Wikipedia calls the man a Nigerian American because he has Nigerian background. So he's talking about two Black people who are from two different groups within within Blackness, right? They acknowledge that this person has multi-ethnic background. So you definitely, if your mother's Italian and your father's from Mississippi, you're biracial. You come from two ethnic groups. Don't tell me that you just Black. You could say that cops see you physically as Black. I will give you that, but they recognize your identity as being a dual identity because a person who has a Italian mother, right, has a total different upbringing than a person who has a Black mom and a Black dad. It's different. So why ignore that? Are you saying society washes that away? No, they don't. Every time they talk about Kamala Harris, they bring up her ethnic. Like you need to cut it out, Stanley, because you're not being honest. You're not being honest at all.
So thank you, sister. Before I add brother Stanley back, I'm sure he's talking in the back at the moment. What we try to do here, what I'm trying to do here, is there's so much diversity and differentness in the global Black community, right? So the term I use now is someone in the Black community, are they not in the Black community? So regardless of what the combinations or the wordings and stuff, are they within or are they without? If they're within, then they can practice Black Betterment. If they're without, then we don't need to speak about them. You see? Now, obviously, amongst that, there is those who by birth qualify to practice Black Betterment. But then when it comes to us trying to reach out, this is where action is important. So just by being a Black member or being a member of the community, doesn't mean that we're going to take you serious. Brother Stanley is born into the Black community, but no real black better is going to work with him on any kind of real higher level echelon kind of stuff, because the brother isn't interested. He's more interested in self-sabotagement, as he's going to demonstrate at the moment. So this is why we have to really be cautious. So it's who is a member, meaning who we can work with. But that's because your member doesn't mean we're going to work with you, because a person might be unsynchronized. Ain't that right, Bro Stanley?
You know, that's an interesting soliloquy you just did. So you ask me to talk to once you have basically said everything I have to say is not worth listening to. You didn't say that like verbatim, but
Well, if you have the right,
you know what? I'm pretty much at my wit's end with you, Raven.
All right.
Okay, you don't let me speak. You pretty much describe what I'm going to say, then go, what do you have to say? How good faith is that? And my thinking is that you're afraid of what I have to say, then therefore you just like you have to describe what your audience is going to hear.
I'm sure.
Demonization is not a way
I'm
to
just
win
going
an
to
argument.
Just going to meet you for 1 second. So this is what it is. When we come in there, we try to strongly push people to, and the brother's unfortunately gone, he tapped out. We try to make sure that it's never about individual. It's about collective, right? And it's about putting the needs of black people first. These unsynchronized brothers, unfortunately, they haven't been trained to do that. So what they do is they it's almost like an old school thing where you're almost jealous of black people just for being black and constructive, right? And we see this demonstrated all the time. So that's why every time we try to talk to the brothers, we're constantly saying, what can we do to help black people? What can we do? And then it's like, they'll say something like, oh yeah, you're useless, and go, we are useless. Can you help us be useful? And no matter how far back you go, they're never best pleased. You see, they're never best pleased, right? And this is what we can always observe. So that's what I'm saying is by using these techniques, you can highlight quickly if someone is self-sabotaging. And unfortunately, as week to week has been demonstrated, Brother Foster and Brother Stanley are self-sabotaging, and we want to give Brother Foster a chance to defend his self-sabotagement because he might think it's wrong, but I doubt he will.
But Brother Foster is an example of what I was just saying. Stanley, if you're still there listening, you're saying mixed race people are black. Mixed race people are black. And Brother Foster is saying, I'm not only black, I'm mixed. That's what I was just saying. We will consider them black when they consider themselves black. That's what I'm saying. That's what Raven is saying. That's what Kel is saying. They have to consider themselves black. If not, we will respect the fact that they want to be mixed, that they want to acknowledge both parts of their identity. So, Stanley, if you feel that Black Betterment is wrong, holler at Brother Foster. Convince Brother Foster that he's fully black, you're just black. That's all you are is black. Then bring him back, and then we could be all on the same page. Because we'd love for him to say, hey, I'm black. But he will say, I'm black and white. See, he will add to the equation because he is a mixed race person. Stanley, I'm not trying to be against black people. I'm not trying to be against you, but you got it confused with if you're taking that energy and bringing it to Raven. When you have mixed race people, when he said before he left, he was like, big up the mulattoes. That's what he calls himself, a mulatto. That's his identity. You need to holler at the mulattoes, Stanley. Don't bring it to Black Betterment. Bring it to the mulattoes and get them on board.
That's right.
That's right. Like I said, this is a Black First podcast, and like I think that's why you use the term community. Whoever's in the community can work towards the betterment of the community. Once you're in the community, you're benefiting from the community, right? So whatever you want to call yourself, Yoruba, African, Sun, Black biracial, mixed black, Afro-Jamaican, beautiful terms, blah, blah, blah. But what we're going to remember, let me actually let brother hold on 5 seconds. This is Darth Raven. Welcome back, Darth Raven Black Women, to yourself.
Hello, Rap Raven, how you doing? You alright? And all that stuff. And King Kale, and I don't know the other one. What's going on here?
Black Betterment's done, brother. Black Betterment.
Peace, peace to you.
Peace. I see Stanley's causing trouble again.
That's why
Stanley, he likes to wind people up and then leave and all that kind of stuff. It's causing trouble. What are we talking about?
So he says Raven mission. He says Raven's mission accomplished. Black first, no matter what. Apparently, so Brother Stanley, yeah. So this is a black first concept. So we're trying to push when we say black, the black community. If you're within the black community, you can benefit, but if you're not, we can't help you. So if you want to identify yourself outside of the community, why would you even care what we're doing? Because you're not part of the community, right? So it wouldn't matter. This is a black first concept, but the truth is, no matter how much we tell people, it's like what Brother Dork was saying. These are unmotivated brothers and sisters who their job is to do drive-by criticism. Their job is not to do anything constructive for black people. We see it a mile coming, but we just let them in for case study purposes. But if anyone wants to change topics, we can always do that. But we've got 10 minutes on the 200 show, family. So Stanley definitely a pace saboteur. Yeah, to be honest with you, this pace saboteur, I think from what my research, close proximity to non-black people can actually make someone like a free willing saboteur, meaning the sabotage is payment enough, meaning their head explodes dopamine and stuff because they know they're slowing down progress. And we had a system of I don't know if I still have it, but we had like gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal for actions. It was like if you can shut down a black betterment concept, gold medal. If you can slow it down, silver medal, and if you can just if you could just make people question it, bronze medal. We had some kind of system of what's going on in the heads of unsynchronized brown sisters' minds when they see black people progressing, and that's why we try. Then let this other jump on. Whenever you do it, step back and go, okay, I'm all these things you're saying, but what could we do that is beneficial to black people? And see what they say. And usually there's no kind of response because they're not used to that. They're waiting for you to insult them, and they've got an insult come back. So take what they say, go, yep, I am used to this. I'm the worst person of all time. But what could I do with you to help black people collectively? And you'll see that they'll be stunned completely. They have no response. Now, family, we've got 10 minutes left. Anything that the panel like to speak out before the last 10 of our 200th show? Anything before we go?
Well, regards to what you just said there, I mean, we have encountered a whole lot of people like that. People who are not, as you guys might put it, unsynchronized as well. And then you'll be surprised how many people do like to be on the detractor side of the argument as well. When it comes to Pan-Africanism, all that, people just like to be controversial. You understand what I mean? And some of them who don't know any better are just bandwagoners. But what I would say is I have gotten to the stage in which if I recognize that you're that type of person, I don't approach you with that conversation. You understand? And it's sad. It's sad that we can't be able to speak like that. But I don't bother to approach you with that conversation. I try to seek like-minded people you can build with, people you can work with, and all that kind of stuff. Because eventually when you start gaining and start winning, people then start to gravitate. And at the same time, you'll get critics. You will get critics, but it's always better to work with like-minded people and build a strong enough force rather than just going at everybody and just being embattled from everywhere. You're trying to bring your message and you're being embattled everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So it's best to work with like-minded people and save yourself the stress.
Thank you there. Very, very good words there from the brother Darth. Any kind of like last words from Brother Kel and Melanie Goddess that they'd like to push forward? For those who are joining now, I'm going to play. This is a video we're going to start. We're going to take our interviews and break them down. So where's that one gone? Have I got rid of it? Is it this one?
documentary, The Man,
It's
about
not,
a Dutch serial sperm donor.
it's not that one. Where's it going? It must be this one. Where's this one? That's this one.
Something out of control, right? Me and the brothers we hang around with and sisters, we promote something known as Black Betterment Building, right? There's two types. There's Black Betterers and Black Betterment Builders. Black betterer is a person in their entire life they're promoting black stuff, pro-black, and fixing black issues. A Black Betterment Builder is someone who they dedicate their life to one or two concepts. So you can that sounds like that kind of individual where they want to fix black schools or fix black health as an individual thing, but they want to have their own freedom life to not be tied down to certain very
Okay, I
strict rules.
see. I see.
But if you're a black betterer,
It's fugazi, isn't it?
well, if you're a black betterer, everything has to be codified.
You know where they stand as well.
So the reason why it's important is because what we're demonstrating is we have layers. So some people they're gonna be they want to marry the European so much that they're gonna struggle to do a full complete Black Betterment package, right? But there is still that kind of casual package we call the Black Betterment Builder package. So they can do what they're doing, but have one or two activities dedicated to black people. But they won't even do that. What they want to do is sabotage every single concept, every single idea that pushes black people forward. And we demonstrate that by asking those questions. So in our collective group, we have rule sets for the black belt, the complete package, all things pro-black, right? Then we have the casual belt, the white belt, and that means one or two things, you see? And we're saying that on the higher echelon levels, it is just the black belt we're going to be working with when it comes to actually the direction of ideas and stuff, right? And organizations. Then on the next level, we will hire and work with Black Betterment Builders. You know, the 1 foot in, 1 foot out here and there, whatever, right? You know, let me say the casual also, right? And then the next level down is just the average black person. So me personally, I will work with any black person on their project pro bono if time's given. If time's given and they're doing something constructive, I'll help them. When it comes to me setting up an actual Black Betterment institution, you have to be a black belt. You have to be a complete package black bearer. You have to value black love, black health, and black economics. Because if you don't, you will sabotage every single step of the way, like we've demonstrated Brother Foster and Brother Stanley. And hopefully that makes sense for the pet family listening. Any last words from the family before we go, family?
Yeah, man, we need to all strive for this gold belt, right? What is it? Or the black belt. We all need to strive.
There you go.
Yeah, we all need to strive for the black belt. You know, I recognize that it is difficult living in the West and really practicing Black Betterment the way that we would love to. I would love to like not go to Walmart ever again or go to Target ever again, but it's just not feasible, or it's not enough black businesses that are within my proximity in order for me to achieve that. But I do have a desire to, and I personally don't think that there's anything wrong with black people saying that and saying that we want to. So I would just encourage everyone to stay black first minded and keep up the good work, Raven. Excellent work that you're doing. Your shows will be watched 25 years, 50 years from now on YouTube. A lot of our youth can get tapped in a lot earlier, a lot younger in their lives on what it is to practice Black Betterment. So big up.
Brother Cal, last words from me, Brother Cal. Oh, he might be working. Well, let me give thanks before I go. Let me give thanks to Brother Kel. His consistency. When I've seen him going around the podcast and promoting Black love, Black economics, and Black unity, and he faces much challenges, but he continues going. Also to Melanated Goddess, how she comes in and adds that feminine energy and lets many unsynchronized men see truth, like she demonstrated today, and leave them speechless. So we give thanks to that sister. And Brother Dominic has said some very kind words. Raven, I will personally say you have strengthened my mindset in Black love and Black unity. Brother Dominic, it's an honor, and obviously the work you do behind the scenes is much appreciated. and we want to give thanks to you and your beautiful family. Like I said, brothers, this is a 200 show, and today we have done a very important case study, as we always do. But we want to give thanks, and we're going to continue going. Don't forget to give us for next week. Get the names of the shows you want to network to, so we can reach out to them, invite them, have interviews and stuff. I'm going to soon start posting these new videos of these new concepts of clips and stuff. And is that Brother Kel coming back? Is that you, Brother Kel? Oh.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the Sun people that supported the Black Betterment. You know, obviously Sun sister Melanie Goddess.
Yes.
You know what I mean, and the rest of the Sun sisters and the Sun brothers. You know, the allowing a lot of the Sun people around the world in one forum is amazing. So, yeah, man, big up to the Sun people. I knew you all could do it. It's in our blood. It's in our history, and we have to keep going, man. We're black and green till we die.
Okay, can I ask a question? Where does attaining wealth fit in the Black Betterment agenda? Where does attaining wealth and how to attain wealth and retain wealth fit in? Because one major thing in life is that you will find that many people they are conflicted with many things. Like you find somebody's depressed or sad or something. Whenever you get down to the core of it, you always find out that something major has happened in their life, something very fundamental or integral to their whole structural being has gone awry. So that then tends to affect their other psychological being. So they start to look down on themselves. Like for instance, black people, you will say as a collective, we have been fundamentally affected in the way we structure ourselves in the world and all that stuff. So it brings about these self-esteem issues as well. So people fall into depression and they beat themselves. So I'm saying, but that can be fixed by attaining, I'm not saying just money, just attaining wealth in life as well. If you can fix those structural things, those fundamental things, then you start to see the self-esteem comes back. So in the wealth point of view, where does Black Betterment, where does attaining wealth fit in? Attaining and retaining wealth.
So, well, the idea is if we can spread Black Betterment ideology, people are always going to try to improve, and when they get wealth, they're going to remember where they come from, and they're going to seek to marry a black woman, a black man, keep the wealth in the community. But they'll also be more motivated to potentially use their wealth to build other kind of concepts of wealth for the black community. It's having that black first mentality, but the ideology has to come before the wealth, because what we observe now is people get wealthy, but they're not necessarily connected to the black community. And what they do is they give the wealth back, or they marry out and give the resources back that way. So ideology and then seeking wealth because there's a connection to the community. That's the goal we're trying to work with. Hope that answers your question, family.
Well, it does answer my question. You've answered it in your way. I don't disagree because I understand what you said, because it's the ideology comes first and then the rest of that. But to some people who may fancy themselves to be very pragmatic people, they would say these people are preaching something, but they're not preaching me how to deal with fundamental stuff in my life. I need money, and I need that. So then you know what I mean? Maybe perhaps you can bring it about how black people can work together to attain wealth.
Yeah,
something like that.
So that should. The reason why we say ideology, if that's what you want to do, that's what we're going to do. If you're synchronized with black people, like I am, right, then every business venture I do, I'm looking for black people to jump on board who are best qualified. Yeah, but if you're not synchronized with black people, you're just going to constantly go out, and because many black people are not doing these activities, you're never going to be in the same room with them. So the idea is, it's like I'm in the tech industry, right? So if I realize there's no black people in tech, I need to go to Zimbabwe, I need to go to America, I need to go to London, I need to go to these places and create networks with all the tech people in the same room, so we can exchange details. So if a project is going to come about, I know I can reach out to the brother in the Afro brothers in Belgium or in America or in Nigeria, so I can put them in, because the ideology makes me do that. But if I don't have that ideology, before I go, it's very important, right? The biggest problem we had is black parents of the generation above stopped promoting pro-black and pan-African ideology. They stopped, right? They had the integration or love has no color, or whatever the philosophies are, right? And all those ideologies makes you fund other communities. Yeah.
Yep.
So when you see Brother Stanley and Brother Foster jump in with such vitriol and such sabotage, you don't observe those in other communities. So that is a natural place. Well, not natural. That is what the outside communities will foster. Will foster that kind of uncivilization. So you have to have an ideology that makes you constantly look for solutions for Black people, and this show is about refining that. But regardless of how we end up, we want Black ownership, Black wealth, Black economics, Black family, Black health, Black self-esteem, everything Black, right? Yeah, and this is a good thing, because if we don't do it, it won't get done, right? But some people say that not all skin folk are kinfolk, and that's why we have ideology where we say the synchronized work in a small environment that creates the osmosis and atmosphere that influences the people to day by day become more synchronized with ideology that is in their own best interest. Yeah. And that's why it's important that Stanley and Foster sabotage, because we know to never work with them at this level, because they'll just destroy every single apparatus.
No, I think Stanley is just a jerk, really, to be honest. He just likes to mess around.
Yeah.
Brother Foster, though, I believe Brother Foster, he likes to troll a bit, but he definitely believes in what he believes in.
Yeah.
Stanley's just being a jerk.
And that's important. It's important that we understand those who are unsynchronized with Black women, because we're just using those case studies. But ultimately, we're looking for constructive, synchronized Black people, brothers and sisters who we can work with to find solutions. And we're doing that now. For family, we've just hit 12. This has been the 200th, the 200th show. Give thanks to Brother Kel, Sister Mary Goddard, and Darth Raven, as well as to Brother Dominic, Stanley, A. Zinger, Brother Foster, As Chronicles, Sister Kush, Sister She Reigns, trying to feel my memory now, Javan Garveyite, and everyone else who jumped in who I might have missed. 1,000 forgivenesses if I've missed your name. But tune in next week for the 201st episode. But until then, Black Betterment from birth to bereavement. There you go. Thank you. See ya.
Black Betterment. Black Betterment.
Black Betterment.
Peace.